Alright, what's up guys? What a crazy week. I wanted to try and get back into videos a little bit more. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the one at the end of this for the reason of the EMES trade. Pretty amazing day. Pretty amazing week. Yesterday was a really small loser, but today we just blew it out of the water. So, pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go over the recap today of the trades that I made. And yeah, then I'll cover EMES at the end, why I loved it, why it's my favorite setup, and why it's, because of that, why it's easy to have conviction on that type of trade when it's one of those ones that you just have a lot of confidence in. So, first one, since I got on my screen, BSPM. Somebody alerted that I chased a little bit because this has had quite the crazy move on the red-green move. Made a couple hundred on that. Sold it here, bought it here, sold it, I think in the 55s. I was actually planning to rebuy it, but I got so busy with other things that it turned out that worked well that I didn't. Didn't really intend to scalp it, but the 60, that line is on here for a reason. I was worried that was going to be its peak out point. Ended up being right, so that was a good trade overall. CBIO, second gain, second biggest one of the day. Pretty awesome. Had this in two accounts with about a 188 average. Unfortunately, I didn't add any to it. That was my whole plan when it broke too. But the way it traded yesterday was very choppy, up and down, up and down, up and down. So once I really was about ready to add it, it had already hit like 230. And I didn't want to chase the 230 knowing how it traded the day before on any like rips or ramps. It just broke straight down. So I just took the shares that I had, let them go. Sold partial. In this account, sold all of it at 315. The rest of it anyways. And then I sold the rest in the other account, I think 286s? Somewhere right in here. I wanted to be patient on the last one in the other account because you got to go in there, type it in. It's all web-based, so I wanted to see if it would do another 3, but after it bounced and failed to go past 3, I just got rid of it. So that turned out to be great. Pretty amazing that it went red today. So that was interesting. One of the few losers today was CVRS. Bought on this move. Glad I didn't. I almost added in the 170s, which would have been really very chasey for me. But then I had an order, I think, at 57. It filled immediately. And then I added again at 55 or 56. I can't remember. And then it washed even harder. So I was down pretty good on this one. Ended up putting in a sell at 53 for most of it. Wanted to see if it would hold the red. It failed again. And then I sold the rest, I think, at 52. So that was a loser. No big deal. Two small ones, DAKP. Tried to give them a chance on these breakouts because you just never know with these charts. It's like, take the risk. Super small loss. I only took one starter, never added, especially after I saw that. I would have wanted to see it base and then keep going if I was going to add into it. So I ended up taking it off at 14. I think 14, yeah. Also DXI, same thing. Bought it at 14.4s. I went and had to go outside and do some stuff for a while. Missed kind of in here. I would have probably maybe taken off a few, but I was anticipating a 19, so I was just patient with it. Ended up not doing anything other than taking the loss at 42s somewhere. It was a small loser again. Only the starter on it. HHS was nice. Don't really want to go over that one a whole lot, but I have my reasons. So, pretty awesome. That one. I'll just say it was about 39s. So, yeah. I don't know who watches the videos, but I don't want to go over that one a whole lot. But, anyways. HUSA. Just a scalper on this one, actually. Shorted into this 33 push. Was anticipating adding. The reason was because I wanted to kind of see 35, 36, see if it could test 37. But I think I got 32, I think it was 33.6 or 32.6, one of the two, can't remember. And then I just said, shit, I'm up this much, I'll take it. And then I just covered in 30, I think it was 30.05s, moved on. It's really all I like to do with those is get the immediate wash and then take the game and say, oh well. OPXA, traded that. That was a nice alert in the room. I think I chased it at 45. And I don't know why on this one. Maybe it's because of how it ended the day. I expected it to do it sooner. I just scalped it for like 8 cents, and I don't know why. I sold like 53s or 52s. I should have been thinking just 4 push, but it's just the way it was trading. The reason it was up was because of a broker upgrade. I love the chart, but it was just how it was trading in the 53s. I really didn't expect too much out of it. Hard to explain it, but I guess kind of ended up being right because it just died off. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen, but I thought it was going to just kind of go up and right straight back through UAP and maybe do it here. So I'm not upset with that one at all. Pran I really thought was going to go today. Had that crazy candle that we've seen do 10 moves. I bought 40, or no, not 40. I think it was 68, 69s, and 71s. Did the push through 5, sold them at 5. Again, how it was acting. And the fact that it immediately pulled back and it was so slow throughout the day. So happy with that one. Tried to re-walk on an article that was posted. I bought like 708s and just it did absolutely nothing. I ended up selling it at, I think right in here, 98. So I was a loser. SPHS. Oh, this one, I think I got overexcited on the CBIO trade because this one, I just remember sitting down early in the morning going, anything and everything towards 3 I want to short the bejesus out of. And the reason for it is this candle here, these candles here, that candle there, that candle there, that candle there, that it has a history of either gapping and failing or pushing and completely failing. And I was not patient with this at all. A lot of things that ended up that I just didn't care about it, but I started immediately at 89s. Didn't take any. Missed an ad at 303, so that would have been nice. If I would have caught that, I probably would have been much more patient. And then it ended up covering at the 100, I think, right here. And then I took it off radar. I actually got bullish right here. I tried a long, kind of based off of that bounce base and then that lower high. Because sometimes what you'll see is that once it bases, makes another low, and then it made another high, I actually took it long here. Just an anticipation squeeze into like 260s into VWAP. It immediately failed, so I think I lost 4 or 5 cents on it. And then didn't look at it the rest of the day. What else? TAT. I tried that. That was a starter. I lost on it. Nothing much. VMEM, I swung that overnight. Looks like it actually held pretty well from where I sold. I was fully expecting an 80, 81 push. It missed, and I think I sold 74s? 74, 75, I think it was. Somewhere right in here once it failed VWAP on the next peak. But the entry was pretty sweet. 68 from the other day, and 68.1 or something like that. So, now on to the good part, EMES. So, what made this, in my eyes, a short? Yes, it's been up. Usually you expect those 3 big candles. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, it's, anybody could say, oh, it's up so much from 5 to 12. It could have gone to 18. But there was a lot of things that came into play on this. And one of them was, I think I heard the market was kind of weak, oil was weak, or something. I just had that in my mind that oil was weak, I guess, as stage 1. Stage 2 was when I looked at it. I knew people were shorting it, didn't look at it, didn't look at it, didn't look at it, didn't look at it. I looked at it right here. And there's another trade that I'll pull up that reminded me exactly of it, and that's kind of why I posted it on Twitter. I was like, shit, this is my favorite setup, and I'm looking at it unfold right through here. I think I have like 4 hours recorded. My computer restarted, so I don't have the end of it. It just cut it off. So hopefully it's not like corrupt. So we'll see. I have to take a look at it, but it went out like middle, kind of end of the day. My antivirus turned off my computer on me. But what made it so juicy to me was the fact of how perfect that this high level, and not just that it was an ABCD, because that would have been much different. It was the fact that it was a high level ABCD under a whole number, $12. I got 199s and 187s, I think, or 188s. I can't remember. One of those two. But awesome entries, pretty much dead top. And we all know, and I'm a long-sided trader, so I'm probably 90% long, 10% short. And also looking at the chart history of this, it looks like it pulls back. And I was expecting a big wash immediately, kind of like 9s, 10s, real fast. But I'd taken off some into VWAP, and I was just going to be patient with all of it, which I did. So I was really happy with that. And what I'm seeing is that when these do these ABCD moves, obviously everybody's thinking, oh shit, I'm going to get squeezed out, I'm going to get squeezed out, I'm going to get squeezed out. And even on the recording, when it did this candle right here, 102,000, right into 12, that kind of, obviously I got short into it. I think it was either this candle or the next one, but that kind of candle and that volume really confirmed to me that, hey, this is probably the top. Even if it's not, I was okay with it going to 220s, 240s, provided it didn't continue to make another lower or higher low. So kind of the next logical points is, cover maybe some in a VWAP, let it go. And then once it's stuffed and failed a few times, it was pretty much game over. Really expected it to go red, but I had mentioned that I was going to be covering anything sub 9s, or sub 10s, sorry, not 9s. 9s would have been sweet. But it's how this entire thing's set up. Like, for instance, not to just make you think, oh, because it's up and it's got an ABCD, it's a short. No. Not at all. So you could have 3 big candles like this, and it could have very easily done that today. 1, 2, and then maybe 16s. Pretty unlikely, but you got to also take into account this giant pullback. I mean, it doesn't have major resistance to like 33. Sounds crazy, but it could have done that move in 3 days. But the fact that I had oil was weak in the back of my head. I didn't even look at the market, so I didn't know where it was. But it's just the fact that anything that has too perfect of an ABCD for me, that is on an overextended chart from like 5 to 12, I will look at that any day and every day as my favorite short setup, other than maybe a parabolic trying to catch the tops. But as a confident short, this is one of my favorite, just because of how it pans out and the risk reward that you actually have. I was risking 20 cents for the anticipation of it going red, so I'm risking 20 cents, 40 cents to make $3-4 bucks. Do the math in your head, and that's pretty significant risk reward. So hopefully I get that video figured out in the next day, and I had it basically muted, so I'm gonna just talk over it. So hopefully I can get that posted maybe by Monday, maybe the weekend, I don't know. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hope everybody has a good weekend.